away from the hour of 10. Welcome to the melting point. I am NYAKNNO, Albert.
It's nice to have you with us on the melting point. 13 days into the new year, 13 days into fresh ideas. Welcome to the melting point. I am Anifil Enquiry. Good morning.
Good morning, the old sailor.
Yeah, good morning, Yaki.
How you doing?
I'm cool. I'm very cool.
All right then. Well, the Enquiry State government has flagged off its 2026 ministerial briefings with Governor Moina demanding accountability, measurable results, and alignment with his Arise agenda. So today we're staying in Enquiry State to talk about the latest developments coming from the Enquiry State government. Commissioners and heads of agencies are being asked to show with facts and figures how their work is impacting the lives of the people. But beyond the speeches and presentations, key questions remain. Will this exercise be a turning point for governance in the state, or will it be just another routine government ritual? So today we examine the issues with one of our regular analysts on the program. This morning we're joined in the studio by the president and founder of Open Forum and the host of Open Forum here at Memories 96.5 FM. I'm talking about citizen Matthew Kofi O'Connor. Good morning, citizen MPO. It's nice to have you with us today.
You make it sound as if you're an MC in a wrestling match. I have to raise my hands and raise my shoulders and start doing like a wrestler.
Well, you like it when I call you.
Oh,
so
you know,
I had to do that with some dexterity.
What they call it, mumu button. Good morning, Yaki. Good morning, the oldest sailor.
Yeah.
I love this grey hair. So spicy.
Perhaps it comes with the name. Old sailor.
FKO, it's not you that should be saying this because you have some under you.
Okay.
You know what? The one here is dedicated to my father.
All right.
Yeah,
Really?
used to keep it.
Oh, really?
Okay, now I feel
Good
lost
morning.
and left
It must
out.
have been
No,
very
yeah,
close.
yeah. Small
Yaki
boy
is
now.
not-
Come on.
That's Yaki now.
Elders are happy meeting
Yeah.
you. Wait for us.
That sounds more like a government thing now.
Good morning, fellow citizens and humanity generally. It's good to be here.
Remember, you can be part of the discussion via the phone lines on 0803 085 7755 and 0829 066 6909. The second number serves as our WhatsApp number. We should be streaming live on YouTube at Memories TV Online and of course on Facebook at Memories 965 FM. So if you drop a comment there, we'll read it out here on the program this morning. So like I mentioned during the introduction, we're turning our attention and our focus to the recent development in Enquiry State, the ministerial briefings talked about by the state governor yesterday. Citizens, let's start with accountability and timing. Governor Moina says the ministerial briefing is about accountability after 2.5 years in office. Do you think ministerial briefings at this stage usually will lead to real accountability, or are they more of a stock-taking exercise without serious consequences?
Yaki, I must commend His Excellency for his openness, his tradition of bringing out his aides to at least media, yeah, and giving them the opportunity to see what they have been doing in their ministries. Why is that important? It is a Herculean task for you to write to anybody in government requesting the person either to clarify an issue or to come on air and speak about the Arise agenda as it has to do with the ministry, department or agency. I'm sure you must have had that experience. If you have not had it, others have had it. If not had, others have not had it, which I know they have had. We have had it because we are about people, issues, ideas, and solutions. So we don't just do analysis. We reach out to the people to get the right information and have them clarify things that will help the administration. After writing, calling, and writing, and even calling them out on air, Zebra will say, Babas. Nothing for Lagbaja. Why? What does that tell you? It tells you that they can't explain, they can't withstand some of the simplest questions, most often having to do with what His Excellency has said, accountability. Accountability is just coming to tell somebody, yes, my ministry or my department, my agency, we have done this, we have done that, we hope to do this, we hope to do that. It has to do with how much for any of these. Then what challenges are you facing? I've spoken with some of them at this, one of the things, it's not just my personal experience, people have said it, that one of the challenges even these ministries have has to do with release of funding. And they have complained so loudly that even the governor responded. It didn't start today. It started from 2023. Before that year budget ended. I think 2024. And what was that? Because people are complaining that they didn't release funds recently. They should be told to resign. That was from the governor. And the question was, who is going to tell them to resign? They are supposed to be sacked. Yes. So the governor himself has complained. He has heard. And he went as far as saying very recently, is in public domain, that if a commissioner or any head of agency is not creative, that nothing for you. So, yes.
I need to pause you there because I have heard that.
Yes, I'm happy you read that.
The governor talks about the head of a ministry being creative.
Yes.
A ministry that has a budget, already has
an approved budget,
has a blueprint.
Yeah.
So when he talks about
creativity,
the commissioner being creative, what exactly does that mean? Does it mean if the commissioner is not creative according to his expectation,
yes,
he's not doing his job?
From yesterday we raised that. We had that last week. We were supposed to discuss about it, but because of the kind of issues we're handling, we could not. And just yesterday, we touched on that because the first reaction, the first impression would be, His Excellency should not be the one complaining that commissioners and MDAs are complaining loudly that they are not funded. So if they are not funded, there's no way they will deliver. 2, anybody who has a budget, it presupposes that that budget is supposed to be implemented, albeit to a level of percentage. But there are ministries whose capital budgets have never been released. I don't have the data under Moino's administration. I think it was under the Manuel administration. A ministry like Minister of Manpower and Productivity, a whole year, no shishi was released. And I recall, I like quoting the Labour chairman, very brilliant man, Sonny James. At the public hearing, he told the House of Assembly, if government does not release 1 naira to a ministry, why keep it? Scrap it. You don't need it. But as we speak, since a number of some of these persons want to be politically correct, they wouldn't want to speak out. That's why some of them, they can never come on air, and just to maintain and then get what they want. After all, their entitlements, their Prado, latest models, but it does not match with productivity. So whatsoever are the issues that have made a number of ministries to be dormant, that has made some ministries to appear to be productive, one of which is the Ministry of Health. If somebody's talking about creativity, apart from the roadmap that all of them have, the Arise roadmap, which came out of almost 3 to 4 day summit when the administration took off, and they brought people from far and near. You can imagine how much was spent. They were not even appointed then, but they were all invited to be part of it. And afterward, they went to Lagos State for capacity building, where people screamed. I also screamed. You can retreat, go to Ikodekbene, you can go to Eket, spend the money here. Some of these people have been to Lagos, they have been to London, they have been to US, they have been everywhere. When they come back, zero productivity. Why? Because of recycling of people who, by virtue of having accessed the system, they double as party officials when they plan election. And when it's time to make recommendations, they recommend themselves first. And the recycling continues. So the productivity is, you can never get productive from there. And while I was coming, I just reflected my mind as a thought drop. I said to myself, if the super eagles of Nigeria is to be run like the way government is run, particularly in this state, what was that man? Christian Chukwu. Christian Chukwu will still be playing.
Okay, citizen.
I'm telling you.
That is definitely hilarious this morning.
No, it's not hilarious.
Well,
they will still be playing.
I
So,
mean,
what am I talking about?
Is even late. I mean, I think he died at 70 or 70.
No, those that are alive. That I'm just giving you the range.
Okay.
Yeah, because those were our heroes, and you see the height and the go. A lot. Odegbami will still be playing. Odegbami is alive. Let me say Odegbami. Yeah, the mathematical Odegbami.
Yeah.
You know, he will still be playing. Why? Because you can't leave the system. You are a stakeholder. You are a political leader. Number of them cannot solve problems in their local government areas, even in their villages. They are even problems, but because they are in the system, they have, there's no idea again. They have exhausted a lot of things. So those things culminate to where you will find a ministry like health, a young man, very vibrant. It was never known until COVID, when the state government then thought you can just intimidate, you can just show government, you don't talk to government anyhow. And the young man said, you're talking about life here? No, you can't cow me. He emerged. And somehow he got into full-time politics. He's now the commissioner, Minister of Health. Go there. Memories may need to go and just do a fact-finding tour to see the ministry, what it looks like. And then they have a plan where he got money approval to do what he did in the office first. That place is, there's no place like it in Akwa Ibom, maybe in Nigeria, in terms of government office. So I say that not because I don't know anything, but because while the work was going on, I was amazed. So that is a bit of creativity and a new blood. Introduce new blood, people that want to register their presence to say, I can do this. Oh. So it is not there. So if you keep recycling people that have spent forces, there's not much to expect except the intimidation that will come from them, because they tell you, you second term.
Okay, citizen, we have a lot to talk about, so we're trying to. I'm going to be asking you a lot of questions, and of course, alongside also, commissioners have been told to make data-driven presentations to show impact on the lives of people. And well, I don't want to give my input on that, but what kind of data should the public look out for to know that these briefings are about real impact and not just impressive numbers? Because I mean, it happens on the national where we hear an improved GDP, reduced inflation rate, and then the direct translation is exactly opposite.
It depends on what you call data. The kind of data that Peter Obi was reeling out, and I see what you then said.
Statistics.
Statistics is a good job, but this is different. This is about oh, our ministry, we had a budget of this, and the rice agenda under my ministry, these very priority areas, and because His Excellency Pastor Dr. Mobasino is strict that everything we do in our ministry must be a rice agenda compliance. So we were able to execute this project at this sum. This is a stage of the project. This is completed. This has reached 60%. The other one has reached 90%. And we are starting a new one because this is the direct impact on citizens. What are our challenges? Because without SWOT analysis, you've not started in anything administration. So now we need more funding. His Excellency has been prompt in releasing money. I expect a number of them to come and clear the air. Otherwise, the information out there which His Excellency knows and has spoken about, they will not be able to defend. In fact, some of them, they have to, after that, please, the cabinet should be reshuffled. Why? If you do not show evidence that this is how much that came, this is how much was spent on capital budget, this is number of starving, this is the whatever, all those details, you are giving account to the people. It must be in naira and kobo, and then the impact of the project, such that are project ministries. But there are others that we have even recommended that they should not just be merged where they need to be. Some should be scrapped because, for instance, you have the Akwa Ibom Road Maintenance Agency. Then you have another agency called Akwa Ibom Infrastructure Maintenance Agency. Yeah. Two agencies doing the same work, non-delivering. None! Such that His Excellency had to direct Ministry of Works to go and do audit of potholes.
Well, we'll definitely get to.
And I'm just giving you an instance. So, what do you expect those two agencies to come and say? Okay, Akwa Ibom is the cleanest state in Nigeria. And somebody said, if we are, Nigeria is very dirty. Which is true. But is Akwa Ibom the cleanest state in Nigeria? I would say yes. Why? You don't see refuse in front of people's houses. Note, you don't see refuse indiscriminately on the streets. Why? Because they don't even eat anyhow. So why do we say we have problem with dirt? The refuse that is collected in different locations are not evacuated. That is what makes Akwa Ibom dirty. Akwa Ibom is beautiful because of the roads. You go to certain places, the road itself is a refuse. The road, the way the road is. But because we have good roads, we have been blessed with leaders that have put in so much. Give it to all our leaders, including the one that you will say was something else. When it comes to road, give it to him. Now, what is the productivity of, is it Axema, or what is it called? Why on earth will His Excellency within the first 100 days go to construct Nia Street that was a refuse collecting point? A section of it was a refuse collecting point for the Apanande market. By the time it was constructed, even in the planning, the planners did not envisage where they are going to site a refuse collection point for the market. And I'm sure the market people moved and started dumping refuse. Okay, they carried the receptacle and kept at Obimo by Stadium Road. Not Stadium Road, sorry, Obimo by the Stadium VIP entry point. That is one of the worst decisions ever made in that sector. You have a primary school with little children. You have the entrance to the what do you call it? The stadium VIPO. The main entrance is on Udomana. VIP is this side. Then residents all over that place. The only place next to that refuse dump at Obimo is the Uyo Village Road, which is being replaced. Who will believe that? And people like us, in particular in Open Forum, we've done so much. We've done a press statement, and we've told government, please remove that place. It's an eyesore, it's an indictment on who we are. We are not like this. So what report are you going to expect from them? Oh, to tell us that they have a budget that I've never had because the governor, His Excellency, under the right agenda, is going to do something new in that sector? Is it not the same agency that it had to take the governor of the state, the deputy governor, and other leaders in the state to go to your village road to go and talk about how the refuse has cut the road? And something was to be done. Nothing was done. And people are advancing. So, this briefing, like the last time where people were brought outside the state, and I'm so grateful that His Excellency brought in somebody like Professor Paneku and the lady from one of the international or national TV stations who were frank. They heard the report and they told one of them that the report we are hearing is the reality on ground is different. And Paneku, I can't forget what he said. What he said, Excellency, you look at the system. Anyone that is not delivering, you fire. Political correctness and intimidation by the political class can never advance development. So as we speak, we had proposed to His Excellency, please don't just invite stakeholders to come and hear this, and media. Some of them are not even allowed to ask questions like we get reports, the kind of question they should ask. Now invite analysts. All the radio stations in this state, they have analysts. Get a list of them from different stations. Some of them we repeat ourselves. We are here and there. Narrow down how many analysts do you have. Oh, there are 30. We can't bring 30 of them. Let's have 10 of them to represent analysts. Anybody that want to ignore analysts in Akwa Ibom State, it you know.
All right, this is the melting point on.
Let them be part of any of the presentations. They are the ones to engage, because a number of journalists, they don't have opportunity. Some are even working for government. They are no longer doing journalism but public relations. And people must know there's a difference between public relations and journalism. So if you don't have this, and then the the civil society community who must be there. Yes, some of them are pro-singing, but there are others who will tell the truth because they know that it's the truth that will help the government. And if that is not done in this very case, it means we'll still get the same thing that we've been getting, no result, just ceremonies, and at the end of the day, they say, no bako.
Yeah, MKO. Yeah, the policy thrusts or major thrust of the 2026 budget is rural development, which the governor described as central to reducing rural-urban migration. And each local government area is expected to benefit from community-driven projects in road, water, supply, education, health, services, and etc. Now that this is the focus, and the amount that is meant for local government administration has not been sent directly, they have not been granted that local government autonomy yet.
Yes.
How are they expected to go ahead to manage the lean finances sent to them to check this urban rural migration?
The question you've asked can make or mar the states, depending on how the answer I'm going to give.
So the answer shouldn't make or mar the state?
No, it should make.
Okay.
I'm just giving you because it is very deep.
Let's make the state.
Yeah. You talk about local government funds, and that's where real rural development is anchored. Rural development is not anchored on the state government. People must know this. Until we get it right at the what is called third tier, we will never know progress. To make it simpler enough, you recall 2 weeks ago, Mr. President met with the governors and told them that since they do not want to implement what do you call it? Local government autonomy. You don't allow the funds to go to local government. That he was going to sign an executive order. You recall that?
Yeah.
And what did you expect? She had expected people would run around and come and new policy press release and this. And have you seen any? You've not seen any. Why? Because from day one, when I'm talking about my organization, I speak for myself, I speak for the Open Forum as well. We saw that court case as misplaced. Why? Misplaced because we are a federation, and in a federation there are only two levels that make the federating unit: the state and the federal. The local governments, like we call counties or whatever, councils or other places like in US, they are under the state. In the constitution, this thing that is called joint account was not invented by the governors to access local government funds. It was a remedial measure to safeguard the workers at the local government because corruption had always been there. So, but it was not also intended that when it comes, a governor could have the heart to keep part of the money and release part, or become the treasury or treasurer or head of council who now prepares the salaries for the month and pays them. But that is what has happened in a number of states. The state pays salaries of local government employers, including political appointees. And in doing that, the excuse is that these people cannot handle the money. They don't know anything. They can't handle the money. So you keep the money, you pay, and then what you decide, you now give as running cost. Or, thank God for Pastor Moeno. Local government are doing projects now. Before it's time. When will you happen to do project? What comes to you is just how you manage to escape that month that your supervisors or councillors do not go to the press because the creativity they have is how you can just make away with this little that has come and no controversy. So every day your heart is in your mouth in that system. What am I saying? The system at the local government is not being run as if it's a government, it's a level of governance. It is being run as an extension of the state, and the federal government were not serious. After getting the judgment, Attorney General gave directive that this judgment takes what? Immediate effect. And the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit, NFIU, gave directive. And what was that directive? No money should be sent from the federation account to the joint account any longer. Local governments open an account with the central bank and get your monies directly. Only, I think, Delta states are the only local governments in Nigeria that have been able to open accounts. What's in public domain? The last I checked. Why? The requirement, one requirement, I said it the other day, one very requirement will make the people involved possibly to even resign and swear on oath that they have never been in the council. Why? The requirement is that you have to bring 2 years audit report of your council. 2 years audit report.
The conditions are quite discouraging.
No, it shouldn't be discouraging. It's only proper now. 2 years is small, oh.
Citizen.
Yes.
This issue is quite big.
Yeah.
I mean, this local government issue is big. We can sit on it and we're not.
No, let me just nail it. People should benefit. It's not the number of questions we ask that matters. It is getting the green. So the long and short is that it is almost impossible for account of local government to be tendered. Sarah, I think, is in court. What, 40 trillion there, this 100 trillion there, come and account for it. former governors will go to jail. Council chairman will go to jail if the right thing is done. Why? There's no way you'll be able to audit the account of the councils that will make sense to even somebody that is mentally retarded.
Okay.
If that happens, you can't open an account. So up till now, I have not read any governor that had taken action based on a CYJU's directive. And the federal government itself is at fault. They should have stopped releasing money to joint account and then forward the money to only councils that have opened account. National Assembly, amendment of the law. Because even that judgment is said by the Supreme Court, to me, wasn't appropriate. You were making a new law. You were not interpreting the law. Joint account was not the creation of governors. Here you expose people. There are things you shouldn't tell people. It's not everybody that you tempt. Otherwise, you do something like I watched in a film, very short one. They told the person, your diet, you don't eat that, and all of that. He said, oh yes. So they just set up food somewhere. The guy was looking at it, he didn't know what to do. He fell inside of it and started licking the eye.
He didn't eat it.
Well,
he didn't eat it.
Let's get back.
He fell inside. I was trying to clean it with his tongue.
Let's get back to what the governor said at the meeting yesterday. He warned that excuses will not be tolerated in 2026.
Yeah.
Which sounds like some sort of good news.
Yes.
But in practical terms,
Yes.
how easy is it for a governor to discipline or reshuffle underperforming commissioners without political backlash?
Yaki, it is impossible except the governor is ready to swim against the tide. The governor told his aides and told the world that he does not have confidence in any of them, that he was going to appoint delivery advisors who are non-political professionals, people that will be able to look at him in the face and tell him, Your Excellency, this is this. But what did we have thereafter? The same crop of commissioners, some of them were, I'm sure, were even happy to leave because it's a load. You can't be embarrassing yourself every day. I'm not performing, but you're still there. People know you're not performing. And so when they were eased out, people were happy. Said, oh, even some ministries, I got information here and there. Oh, they rejoice. But guess what? Almost all of them were brought back as delivery advisors. Even to the same ministry that they left, where the workers, civil servants rejoiced that people, some of them are back as delivery advisors, which means you have a commissioner who can't deliver. Now bring somebody who was a former commissioner who did not deliver to become delivery advisor. To Tuomama, what you have is clash of superiority. There's a problem. That problem has to be solved. Why were they brought back? Some of them for political correctness, because some of them you can't survive outside government. Maybe they are so more leave government. We don't get Jerry to go about no more free diesel, no more free fuel in that giant vehicles that you see. You can't even maintain it and all of that. Air conditioners will finish, you cannot refill gas and all of that. But most government maintain liabilities and call them assets. This very outing should be a defining moment, and that's why people must assist His Excellency and tell His Excellency, your second term is not dependent on these people who some of them are not useful in their communities. It's just about themselves, and they own so much, more than they can ever need. There's no delivery if there's no delivery. Why? Matthew Kofi Okono is a productivity advocate and practitioner. We have been able to turn waste to wealth at the level that we can. We've been able to do certain things that people would so much would never even attempt. So we know anyone that is productive, either with or without money. That is why a Nefiok Udofia or native Udofia that was rewarded. I said it wasn't yesterday or the other, but yes, yesterday. Culture and tourism. What do we have that is like, oh, amazing things coming from that sector, because what governor is doing majorly in the tourism sector is a direct thing. The governor, in fact, the governor is a commissioner for culture and tourism, because that's his core area. It's a state of emergency. You understand? But the commissioner was singled out and given an award. 20 million naira, this one your own handshake. It has never happened in this state. Then 100 million to your ministry for specifically Christmas Unplugged. And Christmas Unplugged, I'm saying so, very poor concept. We had given alternative to what it should be called. Ibom Festival of Arts and Culture. Separate Christmas from what we used to see. That's a story for another day. We've talked about it, we keep talking about it. But what happened this last time? Some people complain on the arrangement. The whole thing was highly politicized, like some analysts said, including the civil society organization and all of that. But the governor saw something. And what could that have been? I said so yesterday too. There was something, it's there. They printed a card for people to sign, write their name, Yaki, I donate 5 naira or 20 naira to the cultural center under the ministry. The embarrassment was huge. The permanent secretary said, I'm not the one that did it alone. It was a collective thing. And all of the embarrassment. But we came out of that, and governor says this is the best commissioner. There's more to it. That's why you should see the account of the last Christmas, using their term, Unplugged. How much do we make? What idea did he bring? What was the creativity? Or is it because money was not released and he was able to go ahead and still do what he did? Oh, if that was so, he deserves to be commended. Because in civil service, I have seen a school principal, the wife of NYAKNNO, my council chair, my former House of Assembly member in Senator, the wife was a principal at a school in Ikorobo. She used her money to do a lot of things. And when I spoke about it after meeting it, the former permanent secretary, Ekarabasubong, said, I want to see the place. And we went, and he saw it by himself. If you want to run your office properly, you use your money. I had that experience. I used more than my entire earning as a council secretary to run my office and deliver my name from the shame of being in a system where nothing works. But people are given microphone to speak even before the governor. Yes, I've been in this office, like one has said, I'm the first person in my local government to be council chairman for 3 times. Take a microphone. I will go 3 times. And so can now. Nothing. I used more than my entire entitlement to save my name. So, a native Udofia will get to dig deeper to know what happened. If it was because money was not released and you went to do what you did, he deserves it. But if it's for any other thing, we will get to know. That's why we need more investigative journalists, we need more civil society people that ask right questions, get the right answers to help leadership. So for His Excellency, this very outing is not just about the ministries. Council chairmen should be part of the scorecard because they are working with the governor, and there's no other forum, either they create a separate forum for them where the civil society should also be invited. Not those that go and sing praises. Like one of them that was done. The people that were singing praises was only the governor that told the hard truth. But before this time, I'm praising to I wonder how they felt afterwards.
Okay, if you are just joining us, this is the Melting Point on Memories 96.5 FM. And you're free to call us on 0803 085 7755 or 0809 066 6909. These numbers are going to access to the conversation we're having right now on the Melting Point. And we have erudite speaker, scholar, and of course a popular affairs analyst and the progenitor of Open Forum with us in the house, MKO, ever vocal and insightful. Yes. Now, let me come back to you while I anticipate the calls on 0803 085 7755. You're free to call. We're waiting for your calls. But in the interim, let me take our guest to the words of His Excellency, the Governor, and who has pledged to uphold accountability, fiscal discipline, and value for money. Yes, there's a call here. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Okay, the Governor has pledged to uphold accountability, fiscal discipline, and value for money, maintain compliance with the state fiscal responsibility and public procurement laws, curb leakages, and publish regular financial updates. Now, NKO, we're going to that. I think you have a call here. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Good morning. Welcome to the program.
Yeah, good morning.
What's your name and your location?
My name is Emmanuel.
Go ahead, please, quickly.
Go, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, please, I want to ask you a question. I want to ask you to
Go
go
ahead.
and for governor for this so that you can get information. Because as a state, that office of the governor is that. Or he can go to other assembly to represent
His
his
constituency.
own local government. Yeah, pretty well. So that what is that governor or you don't even
Let me
out
give.
of every member or stop not giving government.
Thank you.
Let me give you a very quick one.
Thanks for the nomination.
I thank you for your very good heart, but I've said this before. Partisan politics is different from governance. After partisan politics, governance involves everybody, and everybody cannot be a public office holder. I tell you, as I speak with you, I prefer to be who I am, but to have the ear of the government, governor, other places. Why? Because one, I'm endowed with this courage. I was born with it. I have rejected offers to be part of crime at different levels. I cannot. So it's not enough. You must be in office. If you're in office, you are restricted. That is why you've heard me speak. I was in government and I was odd. I was almost by, let me not use the other term, you know, how I survived, because the choice was resign or you be by. I said if I resign, they will say I wanted to steal. They didn't allow me. I ran away. I said I will stay back. If I buy, let me buy. I tell you, the documents are there, the evidence are all there. I lost everything I ever worked for in life. And that is why I'm leading a revolution. This revolution is greater than any office. Greater. That's, we are helping people. If you are in government, you'll be seen as you are attacking government, because a typical person in government doesn't want to be accountable, doesn't want to help. I give you an example. Call it 1 million. Do you know what the person did? I been 50,000. Ademe. Why? Opu nam te koba. Ayabante de small. So nam te haba. We are doing people a favor. That is what is happening in society. And some of us cannot do that. So it's better we serve and get rewarded for our service, or you don't reward us. We are not serving to be rewarded. We are serving. This is my church. This is my congregation. This is my life. And there are many people like that. The person talking has a good heart. Others are feeling bad. But if they want to say, they will not have.
Yeah, FKO, yes, back to the question. The
Yes.
governor upholding, accountability, maintain compliance, and all of these,
Yeah.
regular financial updates. How has it done this to replicate or to send signals to the commissioners that he has recently charged to be up and doing in order to translate their RISE agenda?
If the governor has people that think like him and are able to look at him eyeball to eyeball and say, Your Excellency, this is not proper, this is what it should be done, I'm telling you, His Excellency will be more celebrated than it's been celebrated. What we have for some time are that some statements are different from what is the practice. We are stakeholders, yes, and I'm glad we are recognized as that. We are invited to the House of Assembly, which is a great honor. I don't joke with it. I value it so much. So we have access to certain things, and you find people just talking as if they've not seen anything. Yeah, people's minds are not the same. We work differently. I don't sleep when there's work. I don't. and I look for the best minds. You've seen the kind of people I've brought here, I've hosted here. But in fact, by the time we do what we tend to do this year, you see the list of people that we have gathered together to gather information. That's why we say, oh, Ideas Bank. The House of Assembly, I mean the budget itself, the information given to stakeholders to use and analyze the budget is so sketchy. It will make you to either say the truth or just say, I'm calling them Yahweh. And I raised it on the floor at the public hearing. And the speaker, represented by Right Honorable Tobombo, called the Commissioner for Finance and Economic Development. What do you say to what Citizen NKO has said? And they responded. The response was still in line with what I had raised. If stakeholders do not have details of budget, why do you put recurrent, which is overhead costs and salaries, together? How do we know how much we're using for salary? You don't. How much do you know how much have been allocated for overhead? You don't. Then capital budget, lump sum. Which areas? The governor said this budget is a people's budget born out of the local government, federal constituency tour, where committees submitted their project. That this project has been captured. There is no item in the 2026 budget that shows the input of Uyo Federal Constituency or any other constituency. I'm saying that because I'm from Uyo Federal Constituency, and that narrows down to the secretary. There's no project indicated in the budget where you say, you understand? So how do you defend that? Now, these other details, they are not there. Then you sign a contract. Even federal government, despite what we talk about, the issues that are there, you can't sign a contract without mentioning the sum and the period of completion. You can't. It's the people's money. Even you're going to do variation, thank God for Pastor Moino. He tolerates variation. No. I like him so much for that one. If you sign a contract, you have to deliver. Then talk about transparency. Let me shock you if we're not shocked before now. His Excellency said in his church, just I think in December, that somebody I think from his village or community came to him and said, and give quote kutum in no contract. What? You have the courage to tell me this? What does that say? Let me give the other details. Go and verify that somebody could sit in his house and is awarded a job he never tendered for, and he has the courage to say that to the governor, and the governor said it in public. I don't know what has happened to such a job. I don't know the ministry, and nobody has been careful enough to say, I need a woman to mokodo. Okay. So the physical responsibility is not there. That's why you find such a thing.
Citizen,
yes.
Let's round up like this.
Yeah.
Potholes. Contractors have been ordered to fix potholes. This will not be the first time, especially in New York, with funds reportedly released. I mean, again, time and release of funds.
Yeah.
This is coming over a month after a state of emergency was declared on potholes. This is not supposed to be a thing of the past by now. We have to do this in minutes, considering the urgency this issue requires.
Somebody placed a bet somewhere over the potholes. One said it would never be done before the year end. The other said it will be done. Because it will be done, you give me goods and all of that. I'll find out from them if the good was given, because I never believed that His Excellency could step into that pothole issue. Nothing is done. The money you have said has been released. What we know is money to contractors, not for road maintenance at itself, because the state of emergency itself should have gone with the money. And let me say this, please. Government or handlers of government, which is His Excellency, number one, and the ministries should not put out any press release about funding if the money has not been released. How many weeks now? Newton Road, one of the roads that's an embarrassment to this to the state, and some other roads, there's no action. So why announce that money has been released when it's just under processing? then if the money has been released, why are contractors not in sight? And when you hear how much you released, you discover that that is almost sometimes close to half of the budget of other states, 120 billion. The other time, a few months ago, it was 60 billion or 40 billion. Abba, and there's no action. There's something fundamentally wrong. People are not delivering. The short and simple is that productivity is not equating with how much people are being paid.
Citizen.
Yes.
We have to go with this last message. Good morning, members of FM and the analyst, Citizen MKO. I love your advocacy on station and issues you have handled. His Excellency Pastor Omoino, PhD's top priorities on tourism. However, please help us remind the governor about abandoned existing roads around International Stadium in Obiotoi more than 10 years ago.
Absolutely.
And nothing is heard about as tourist attracted area. Well, no solar light in the community. Please let this be part of your advocacy. The community have suffered for long. Pastor Ukbong Asuko, Citizen, we must thank you for coming on the program. We're totally out of time. Thank you for coming today, and we hope to have you next Tuesday as well.
All right, Citizen, you're not a 1 hour man. I guess next time we are thinking of extending melting points to accommodate guests like you.
You're thinking on your own, also. Well, you've been listening to our analysis of the Akwa Ibom State Government.
Challenging an elder.
2026 Minister of
recommendations to the management.
Yes, an exercise the governor says will define performance, accountability, and delivery in the year ahead. So as the briefings continue, the real test will not be what is used or what is said in government chambers, but what citizens feel in their daily lives, in roads, schools, jobs, and public services. Thank you for staying with us on the Melting Point today. Join us again next time as we continue to ask the questions that matter. Until then, I am NYAKNNO Albert. Good morning.